And we're live. My name is Jason Robinson. I'm with Illustration by Design, and I will be drawing a commission tonight of HYPERION, a member, the leader of the um, Squadron Supreme, which is sort of a Marvel Comics an allogram, Marvel Comics version of the Justice League, sort of copycats of the Justice League with different names. So someone asked me to draw Hyperion for them, so I'll be doing that tonight. Let's see. I don't think anyone's here yet, so let me check a few things. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I remember Hyperion from when I was a kid. I had a reprint of, I think it was the Avengers, when the Squadron Supreme was a villain group, a group of supervillains that the Avengers were fighting, and I had I think a reprint of them fighting the Avengers. So I know them primarily from that, but I also read I think the 1980s miniseries for Squadron Supreme, where they were good guys with Nighthawk and some of the other um, sort of versions of DC characters in the Marvel universe. So he's a pretty cool character, but I've never drawn him before, so it'll be interesting. But before I draw him, I got this in the mail today. And it is a comic book that I ordered from, I'm guessing it is from John Malin, and it's a copy of his Graveyard Shift comic book that I ordered several months ago. I've been expecting this and Mike Miller's Lone Star for quite a while now, and I am very excited to see what's in it. And I was actually a little surprised that I got John Malin's before Mike Miller's, but I'm sure I'll get Mike's in the next couple of days or so. So I'm excited to see both. So I'm gonna open this one right now, unbox it, so to speak, and we can look at it together. So hold on 1 second. I have to get a knife. So like I was saying, I've been looking forward to getting these sort of cake. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. I got what was it? The one by Richard Meyer. I got that one a couple weeks ago, or last week, maybe a week and a half ago, and I liked it. I was, a little banged up, but the comic itself, that was a mailing. But the comic book itself I thought was pretty good. It's well drawn, well colored. Story was fun. So I was really happy that everything, all the hard work these guys put into their books has been paying off. So let's see. I think this is Graveyard Shift. Pretty sure. Let's see. Hold on. How's this open? Oh, still taped. Hold on. I'm gonna cut it without cutting the comic book inside. And I really like massive comic book mailing are really, really good. Nas Rabadi used one for his comic, came in perfect condition. I'm sort of expecting the same thing from, I guess, John Malin, if he sent this. Ooh, yes. Oh, let me turn around. Can you see that? There we go. Graveyard Shift. Yep. Bagged and boarded as it should be. corners are perfect. It's signed by John Malin right there. Very cool. Look at that. That is perfect condition. That's awesome. Cannot wait to read this. It looks very cool. I love the cover. That's neat. And I can't read the back. Oh, got a card on back. Professor Blood. Very cool. Oh, I think someone's talking, but hold on. Can't see it on my... Why isn't this working? Bink. Oh, hey, Black Wolf Senpai. Good seeing you. Yeah, just got this today. I'm very excited. It looks very cool. So, oops, what's going on? My tablet's acting up. Shoot. Yep, that's not what I want. Dagnabbit. Everything's bugging out here. Hold on. Problem with live streaming. 5,000 things happen at once. Let's see. Hit that. Move that. Hit that. Yes. Vilned. Good seeing you. Yeah, so I just got Graveyard Shift today, so I'm very excited. I just wanted to unbox it here in front of you guys. It came out perfectly. Came in a Gemini mailer. As I would suggest all comic books get sent out in, because it really protected the comic from any damage during mailing. So, thumbs up, John Malin. You did a great job. Very cool. And this is it. That's it. Graveyard Shift. Hopefully you order it. Hopefully you'll get yours soon. And you can read it for your collection. I'm going to read it later on. Right now, I'm going to get to gift drawing HYPERION. So, I'll be right back. How to put it in my comic vault. My hermetically sealed comic vault, where dust and insects and moisture can't get to it. Psst. One day I'll have one of those things. That'd be very cool. Anyway, let me draw HYPERION. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. I will be trying to do as many of these sort of live stream drawing videos as I can in the future. So, let me see. Get a picture of HYPERION so I can see it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. And, that's weird. I don't know why my computer keeps doing this. And please share the video drawn. Hmm. Getting to post that one is sometimes tricky. Uh, oh, music from the 1920s. It's it's a mixture. It's sort of like it's called electro swing. So it's of with modern. Sometimes it is originally based from classic music from that era. Sometimes it's sort of just has the same taste, and it's contemporary music that's given the same sort of sound and flavor as 1920s music. But I enjoy it, so that's why I play it. I don't know why. It always has a very I find it very I don't know, soothing, entertaining. Both. I don't know, kind of uplifting. It's fun. I think it's fun music, so I like listening to it. Bethany uh, Freericks. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, or I don't know how to pronounce it. We're in the middle of a blizzard, and my next door neighbor is trying to get his truck out of the snow. It's working well. Congrats on your copy. Oh, thanks, Bethany. I appreciate it. Yeah, we went to my wife and I went to visit my brother-in-law and his wife, and when we came back from skiing, his driveway. He lives up in the mountains. Um, was so covered with snow because it snowed when we were skiing that it ended up getting stuck in it. And he had a big truck, but it was just too deep, and had to end up getting it out of his cat machine, his big cat tractor from the garage, and driving it out to pull the truck out. So yeah, snow stuff. Oh, it's not working well. Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, snow is difficult. So um, I was trying to make sure that the figure fits on a page. It's always a it's always an important thing to sort of keep in mind when you're drawing. And I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Bethany, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I don't like mispronouncing people's names. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Mike's book too. I was sort of having a sort of mental inside my own head. I was having a little contest to see whose book would arrive first, Mike's or John's, and I would have bet money on Mike because I know that he's been packaging everything, for the past several couple weeks and stuff. So Freer Freer Ricks. I know I'm pronouncing it poorly still. I apologize. Yeah, yeah. Snow isn't a big problem in the South, so that's one of the it's one of the good things about living in the South. You don't have to worry about. Well, it depends. I mean, really. I mean, even if you live in Georgia, I mean, you have to worry about black ice and stuff. In Atlanta. So yeah, yeah. Well, thanks. Again, I apologize. Black Wolf Senpai says, I've lived in snow and he doesn't miss it. Um, yeah, I lived in New York for several years, and I mean, I've lived in the South for most of my life now, but I do kind of miss the change of seasons, but at the same time, just having spent 2 weeks in Colorado recently, it it's a pain in the butt. The snow. I mean, and the thing I worry about the most is driving. It's just so easy to lose sort of control of your car. You have to be so careful. Even if you're careful, I mean, you can still. I mean, it's the potential for accidents is so large to my mind because I'm not used to driving in snow that it's scary to me. So I totally understand why you would not miss snow. Um, Bethany says, I lived in Austin. We had a year where it threatened to snow, and yet about half an inch, the entire city shut down. Yeah, it sounds like what would happen if it ever snowed in Florida. You know, it'd be such a shock. They go into some sort of sun withdrawal and probably panic more than they would if a you know Category 4 hurricane was headed towards them. So it's funny. Yeah, people who aren't used to certain weather, when they're confronted with it, they can tend to overreact when it's even when it's just mildly different from what they're used to. So. Well, Black Wolf Senpai says, where in Florida? I used to live in Orlando. Where in Florida what? Black Wolf Senpai. Let's see. Oh, South Florida. South Florida. So there's rarely, you know, there's never any snow. There's never any real cold weather. Um, when I was younger, we used to get cold weather every once in a while, but nowadays, yeah, I mean, when I think of cold weather, I think of like 30s and stuff. Once you get south of Lake Okeechobee, winter doesn't exist in South Florida. It's all, um, it's basically summer all year round. I mean, you'll get a little, you'll get some spring, you'll get some fall, but fall and spring happen in what the rest of the country would is a dead of winter. Like now we have like fall weather, late summer fall weather, um, in South Florida. So it's just kind of, you know, you, you don't really experience it. But it's funny when you see when it gets down to like 60, and people who are natives to Florida will start bundling up in sweaters, but snowbirds, people who are visiting from up north, are walking around in flip flops and shorts and t-shirts because to them it is it's nice weather. You know, you don't have to worry about freezing or anything. So. What am I listening to? This is like, what the frick? Hold on one second. That's much better. Okay. See this hand? I don't know if you can see it. See this hand right here? That's all wrong. And I could tell when I was drawing it that it's all wrong. And the reason why it's all wrong is because I wasn't looking at reference. So always look at reference. So I'll be right back. I want to look in the mirror, look at my hand, and see how it's supposed to look. Okay. I'm still here. I'm just off camera, roughly sketching the positions of my fingers, because Just want to make sure it looks properly, looks correct, not completely ridiculous. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Put that there. Put that there. Okay. Move that there. Okay, that's better. That's looking better. And okay, that's much better. Ah. You know, something as simple as a hand. I can't take for granted that you know, I'm gonna get it right drawing out of my head. So I always have to like just double check. And a lot of times, like tonight, it's like I could tell that the finger positioning was off and was wrong. So I had to fix it. I'm hoping that my this is working. If you can hear me, please just type in yes, so I can just make sure that this my tablet is working. If someone's asking me something, I don't want to ignore them. Okay, you can hear me. Cool. Thanks, Black Senpai. I appreciate it. Black Wolf Senpai. Hey, Lorenzo, how you doing? Good seeing you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing okay. Just keeping busy. I'm just drawing a commission for someone who asked me to draw Hyperion for them. It's a cool character, a Superman type character. Um, Sort of Marvel's version of Superman. The that was originally a villain in the Avengers, but then they made a heroic version of him and other um, sort of DC copies. So I'm just drawing him. I've never drawn him before, so it's I find that fun, drawing characters I haven't drawn before. Oh, Lorenzo says, interesting, I'm quite new to comic books. Yeah, I mean, this character is from the 60s, and then he was introduced in the 60s as a villain, and then he and a bunch of other characters like Nighthawk, um, the Wizard, I think, is one of them. And they're all just Marvel versions of DC characters like Batman and the Flash. That Power Ring, that was a version of the Green Lantern, the evil version of the Green Lantern. No, it wasn't Power Ring. I'm thinking of the Crime Syndicate, DC's characters. Who was the Marvel version was Doctor Spectrum, and he had like a gem that allowed him to create constructs like a Green Lantern does. Um, so, but then in they over the years, Marvel made them heroic, um, and they came out with a 1980s miniseries called Squadron Supreme, and I remember reading that. I enjoyed it. It was good. They were all heroes in that book. It was pretty cool. So I think they've sort of varied between being portrayed as villains and heroes, depending on you know the various universes that Marvel has placed them in. And I think Nighthawk was a version of Nighthawk was made a major um, character in the Defenders, one of their top members in the 70s and 80s. So I think that was Nighthawk. Yeah. Lorenzo says, I grew up watching live action and animated TV shows and the occasional movie based on superheroes. Yeah, my knowledge about comic books, they're based on is limited. Yeah, I mean, they change, yeah, they leave out, they change so much from when they adapt comic books into live action and cartoons, and they leave out so much. I mean, because there are thousands, millions of comic book stories with these characters, and you only have a half an hour or maybe 2 hours to tell a story in a movie, so you're not gonna know every little detail, every character that a lot of these you know um, characters have dealt with. So I mean, they're never gonna have an Avengers movie with the Squadron Supreme. Um, so I mean, you wouldn't know about them, but you know, nerds like me who've been reading comic books since we were could read basically. You know, we've sort of just absorbed them over the decades, and you know, even if we don't know everything about them, we have a basic knowledge of who they are and what they're about in their history and stuff. So yeah, so don't worry about it. It's fine. But they have had Hyperion in some of the recent cartoons, I believe, the evil version of him. I think the version that this client wants is the heroic version based on the image he sent me. So, which is cool. I mean, he looks the same, but um, yeah. Wow, 6 people are here. Well, thank you for showing up, everyone. Um, Thanks for watching me. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So, and hit the bell for notifications so next time I'm online live streaming, you'll be able to get a notification that to come and watch again. All right, let me just start on his face. Lorenzo says, I wanted to go to the source and read the actual comic books, but then Marvel changed several of their characters to ones I didn't recognize from TV or movies. Um, yeah, it it just really depends. Like I said, I mean, they when they adapt these characters to the movies or cartoons, they like female Thor. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would highly recommend that you look at Marvel comics from before, say, 2010. Um, that was before all the current sort of reimagining, retconning of major characters started. Before a lot of the nonsense that you know uh, readers and comic book buyers, consumers have been rebelling against, started. So, you know, if you go to 2010 and before that, I mean, you'll see the classic heroes: Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and stuff. Iceman's not gay. All the sort of ridiculous stuff that Marvel's been, um, you know, sort of pushing in their books the last at least 5 to 7 years. You know, didn't exist then. So you'll get the classic comic book heroes that you see in the movies, pretty much. Um, so, but you have to look. you have to look in back issues or trade paperbacks. If you look at trade paperbacks that came out, around 2011 and earlier, you'll see all the characters that you pretty much recognize from the movies. So, one book that I really liked was what was it? Hold on one second. This one, Avengers Prime. You can get this on, probably get this still on Amazon. It's by Michael Bendis and Alan Davis was the artist. Really good book, and it's just sorry, Brian Michael Bendis was the writer. But the characterizations, I mean, you can tell. I mean, they look. He's wearing Thor's costume. He's wearing a classic Iron Man armor. That's Captain America without his costume. But the characterizations are pretty much, he's acting like Robert Downey Jr. in the book. He's acting like Thor. He's acting like Captain America. It's just, it's very accessible to even people who aren't into comics. You read it and it's just like, okay, I recognize these characters. They're like the characters I see in the movies. It's just they're in comic book form. So I love this book. I mean, the drawings are fantastic. I mean, I love Alan Davis's artwork. I don't know if you can see that because of the light, but it's just just beautifully drawn. So draws beautiful women, draws great action, draws great monsters. I wish he would do more books, but oh well. When he does, I'll pick him up. Lorenzo says, I heard Bendis used to be good. I mean, I don't really follow him that much, but what I've read of him has been really good. Like that series, I enjoyed quite a bit. So, maybe he's written some stuff since then that isn't as good, but I found him entertaining. So, like I said, I'm not really an expert on Brian Michael Bendis. I could barely get his name right. So. But yeah, I mean, look at I would say older comic books or trade paperbacks because they will give you the characters that you're looking for. Now let me see, what does Hyperion's face look like? All right. Lorenzo says it might not be him per se. Marvel may not be hiring the best editors these days. Yeah, I don't think they are. Based on what I've seen, they're putting some kind of sketchy people in charge of their books uh, in terms of editing. So I think that's been a major problem for Marvel the last several years. It's kind of falling apart from the head down, unfortunately. Hey, Black Wolf Senpai, thanks for stopping by. You enjoy your dinner. Uh, Lorenzo says, I think Richard C. Meyer, aka Zach, thought Bendis needed an editor. Um, yeah, I think every writer needs an editor. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. Um, so, you know, because everyone, misses stuff and, needs a fresh eye to sort of make sure they keep on track. Sometimes writers get lost in their own work, and sometimes they'll start wandering off in ways that will confuse the reader when the story actually gets to print. So the editor has to sort of pull them back. At least a good editor will, and ask good questions. Says, I think that was a problem he had with Bendis was he went off track. I haven't read much of his stuff myself. I think he may have become an SJW as well, and that can seep into one's work. Yeah, if you let personal ideology, you know, interfere with what you're writing, it just depends on what you're writing. I mean, you know, but it's not if you're trying to sell comics to the widest audience possible, having sort of divisive and in a lot of ways, insulting personal politics, inserted into characters that should be, you know, that are meant to be, not political. It hurts your sales. It's not good. People, you're going to offend half your audience, and you know, smart comic book creators don't do that. You know, they try to make their comic books appeal to the widest audience possible because they want to sell. They want to sell comic books, and when you automatically cut um, the appeal of your characters, especially a long time company like Marvel or DC, they have a long history, and they can't afford to. Well, maybe they can if they have Disney backing them, but it's not smart to sort of turn off half of your customer. When you have characters like Captain America being, it's, uh, let's see. Lorenzo says, though Milo Morales seems like a cool character. Yeah, he seems like he's been well over. I haven't really read that much about him, in part because I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man clones. To me, there's only one Spider-Man, and that's Peter Parker. Um, but especially with the new movie. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to. When it comes out on DVD, and I heard that it was really well done. They handled the character of Milo Morales very well, so I'm looking forward to it. Not just create likable characters that fans can rally around. And don't try to force them down people's throats. They've been trying to do it with the new Captain Marvel, the last, especially since their movie's coming out soon. I mean, they've just been really pushing her left and right when they haven't made her likable. I mean, she was likable before when she was um, Warbird and Binary and Ms. Marvel, but ever since they decided to take this sort of B or C list character and elevate her to A list, you know, they've made her unlikable. Then, of course, comic book readers haven't been buying her book, and so they've had to cancel it, and then they try to push it again. They'd have to cancel it again because people weren't buying it, and they've done it over and over again, and the readers keep telling them, we don't like what you're doing with the character, so we're not going to buy your book. So now that her movie's coming out, it's anyone who doesn't like her book, doesn't like her movie, doesn't like who's playing her, is all of a sudden a sexist or misogynist. Um, you know, despite the fact that no, you just made a character that people liked before unlikable and obnoxious and sort of crazy, and the actress playing her, is being racist and sexist, in interviews, and how she's commenting about the people, criticizing, the movie, and her portrayal in the movie. It's and stuff like that. Again, it turns people off. I mean, if you're not going to attract new or and loyal customers by insulting them. And Marvel has been having a problem with that for the last several years, and it has not helped them. It's hurt their comic book sales, and it's probably going to hurt their box office at the when Captain Marvel comes out, because I know I'm not seeing it. And again, I'm not white, so but I don't like that sort of divisive talk coming from the star of a movie. You know, her job's not to be pushing our politics; it's to, you know, promote the movie. Uh, let's see. Lorenzo says Monica Rambeau was a character that readers liked. Yeah, I love Monica Rambeau. She was a great Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel back in the 80s and early 90s, and she was a very great, cool character. I mean, Carol Danvers was a great character too. It's just that they've changed her. Like they've changed a lot of characters in Marvel over the past several years. Um, they changed her from a likable character to one that is, like I said, obnoxious. And that's, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, most comic book readers don't want obnoxious characters unless they're, you know, unless they were designed to be obnoxious, like, you know, like Wolverine or, you know, the Punisher, or whatever, Guy Gardner. That's fine, but you know, when you have a likable character who all of a sudden starts spouting, you know, sort of, you know, divisive comments, and you know, is acting like some sort of dictator in her books. It's you know, it's distasteful. No one wants to read that, or few people want to read it. Not enough people to justify, you know, justify the book, you know, making enough sales to be ongoing. So, but fortunately, it's not my company, so they're gonna do what they like. Yeah, Lorenzo says in one issue of Captain Marvel, she ran her own secret Gitmo-style prison. Yeah, I heard that too. I haven't bought any of the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel books, but you know, I've read some stuff in you know, in on the internet and in the various preview type magazines. So yeah, and then again, it's kind of what turned me off of picking it up. Whereas, you know, I would otherwise be inclined to, because like I said, I mean, I liked her character. I mean, she was in was it Secret Avengers or New Avengers back maybe about 8 years ago, before they made her Captain Marvel, and I loved her. You know, powerful, funny, um, just a, you know, cool team player. And then they had to change her because you know, they thought it's like, oh, we need a major female A-list superhero. You know, they have plenty of female superheroes in Marvel, you know, but instead of just, you know, it's fine if you want to elevate her to to try to make her A-list, but don't change her actual character, you know, in doing so. And they did it, and you know, they found out that you know, people didn't want that. They liked the old Carol Danvers. They didn't like the quote unquote new and improved one, or the one that, you know, the powers that be at Marvel at the time, you know, thought would be new and improved. Yeah. So. Lorenzo says it works out well for indie comic creators anyway. Now people are seeking out alternatives. Yeah, it is because yeah, it's I don't know, the arrogance of the big two, thinking that comic book fans would just stay with them no matter what they did to the characters that these fans loved, it's coming back to bite them. So, you know, fans are saying it's like, fine, screw with the characters all you want. We're just gonna leave and find greener pastures, and that's what they've done. You know, a lot of them have just abandoned Marvel and DC. I haven't bought a Marvel comic book and an actual floppy in years, and I refuse to until they straighten up. Um, you know, I'm happy to buy back issues. I love Marvel back issues, but I'm not. It's not money in Marvel's pocket. That's. I'm just buying it from people on eBay and stuff. But in terms of actually helping to fund Marvel outside of the movies, and again, I'm not seeing Captain Marvel, the new Captain Marvel movie. I'm just gonna skip over that to see Avengers: Infinity War, and then after that, I can't see myself seeing any other Marvel movies because I have no interest in most of what is coming up from what I've seen. Um, Spider-Man movie doesn't look interesting to me. I didn't like the first one really. I thought it was boring. I thought they sort of, castrated Spider-Man by making him so dependent on other heroes instead of his own wit and ingenuity. Um, and, you know, so, until I see some changes, I'll just, I'll just give my money to other people. I have no problem doing that. So, I mean, they're all these creators are welcome to have whatever politics they want, but just don't let it affect, these intellectual properties that you know, so many millions of people love and have grown to love over the decades. You know, that's what a problem lies. Let's see. Alternative's doing really well, says Lorenzo. And the more people bully Peter Smay, the more, yeah, the more his books sell. Yeah, and that's that's a, it's so ugly. It's out there right now. I don't understand why people who who allow their politics to turn them into just ugly, horrible people. You know, harassing people like Peter Simeti, who are doing great work for comics, and have, wouldn't hurt anyone. You're trying to have him swatted and just really asinine stuff like that. It's just, it's beyond the pale. So, and you have a lot of industry pros, encouraging that sort of behavior by, sort of, patting a lot of these people who harass people like Peter on the back online, and it's another reason, for me not to support Marvel. They don't, you know, they don't treat people with respect, and when they see bad behavior going on, they do nothing to, the people at the top are encouraging it and not trying to stop it or calling for people not to do that stuff. So it's very disappointing. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Peter Simeti and Edwin Boyette are both kind people. Yeah, yeah. And Edwin's another one who again today got swatted by some jackass who, you know, I, I think most people strongly suspect you know, are supporters of what I guess was called anti-comicscape, people who are opposed to comicscape, because that's the only connection between Edwin and Peter. And Peter isn't comicscape. He just he just refuses to condemn comicscape. But for a lot of people, that's enough to make them hate him and call him a white supremacist and ridiculous stuff like that, even though Peter's Asian. It's just, like I said, it's just a lot of stupid people doing a lot of stupid things online, uh, where they can't be held accountable, and you know, so and again, unfortunately, I mean, they're sort of given a virtual high five by a lot of people in the industry. So as long as that's going on, I can't support Marvel. Lorenzo says, I thought Comicsgate was just about good storytelling and consumer rights. Yeah, and it is. That's all it's about. You know, again, customers revolting against, being treated poorly by comic book creators in the big two, um, and you know, going out and supporting comics that creators that do treat them with respect. So yeah. Lorenzo says, so Peter Smedley doesn't use the term, but comic creators seem to like his work. Yeah, people who support Comicsgate like Peter Smedley because Peter Smedley isn't political. He doesn't he's he's not going out and calling people who disagree with him you know Nazis or white supremacists or you know accusing them of being bigots or misogynists. He's not insulting you know comic book customers. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of people in Marvel and DC are doing that. A lot of writers, a lot of comic book artists are actively doing that, you know, with glee on a regular basis on all throughout social media, Facebook, Twitter, and the like. And the the editors are doing it as well. And there's no sort of telling them to stop turning away our customers. Um, Disney runs Marvel. I have no idea why the people at Disney are not calling people like Joe Quesada to account or holding him to account as to why he is um, giving congratulating or not congratulating so much, but giving support to people like Renfamous online. There's absolutely no reason why he should be doing that. Um, Someone who has no connection with comic books other than if you look don't do this, but if you ever happen to look at her Twitter timeline, there's all it is 24/7 harassment and sort of criticisms of Comicsgate. 9% of what she's saying is you guys still there? Oh, I lost everyone. Didn't even notice. Sorry about that. Okay, I think I'm back, but I think I lost everyone in the process. Sorry about that. I'm gonna take this time to Okay. Oh, okay. Everyone's back. Cool. Well, some people are back. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what was going on. Oops. Hold on. I don't know if my internet went out or what, but yeah, everything just sort of stopped. It's very odd. Lorenzo says, I am happy with the state of indie comic books. These YouTube streams are so way to get to learn about talented artists like yourself. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, as some people have said that it's the new form of Comic Con in a sense, where you get to interact with comic book professionals, meet new artists, and such. And I agree with that to a certain extent. It's I mean, it's very cool to be able to interact with people like Doug TenNapel and you know um, Mike S. Miller, Ethan Van Sciver, um, and in real time. Whereas before, you'd never be able to have a chance to do that unless you know bought a 25 $35 ticket to a con, um, spent money on travel, hotel, parking, and stood in line for several hours to to get a chance to meet them. Um, Whereas now, you just they have live streams pretty much every day, and you can just talk to them in the chat and to them, see what they're working on, and everything else is pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I wish again that's another thing that they're doing right that Marvel and DC are not doing for whatever reason. I mean, can you imagine having regular live streams every day with Jim Lee, where he's working on books and he's interacting with fans? That'd be fantastic. Um, but they isolate themselves. You know, so it's you know again, there's nothing really that can be done about it. Hopefully they'll wise up and they'll start to address the needs of their fans more. Instead of putting out sort of canned video things that look like they're straight from Disney Channel that they've been doing on YouTube the last several months. It's just really condescending nonsense. I mean, I saw a stream. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday on Facebook? It was an hour-long stream promoting Captain Marvel, and all it was this stupid cat or a tabby cat that looks like the cat from Captain Marvel, just walking around and sleeping. That was it. With shots of Captain Marvel or scenes from Captain Marvel in the background, and that was it. There was nothing else. There was no actors from the movie. There were no directors. No one involved with the movie was in this hour-long live stream. It's just the cat walking around, and that's how they're promoting this movie. And that's how they're promoting Captain Marvel. Instead of promoting it, Captain Marvel using the actual main character, Captain Marvel, you're using a stupid cat. And to me, that does not bode well for the movie. When you're reduced to Instead of promoting the main character, you're promoting her pet. To me, that's idiotic. Yeah, right. Yeah, Lorenzo says that's so silly. They should just replace the entire cast with cats. You know, again, it just shows the sort of tone deafness of a lot of people in running comic books nowadays. At least in the big two. Next month they're having a cat variant month at Marvel, where they're running cat variant covers of a lot of their books, and it's it's like your core audience are not crazy cat ladies. Okay, stop making books that your core audience does not want to read. And we don't want to see cat variant covers. Okay, it's, we want to see well-written books about superheroes, and we want to see art involving superheroes, not cat art. We don't want to see hour-long commercials with a cat, walking around licking itself. No one wants to see, or few people want to see that. You know, um, you get a few crazy cat ladies. You get a few cat lovers watching your video, but you're not gonna get you're not gonna get the majority of people eager to see a movie because of it. And I honestly, I don't like to rag on Marvel because I grew up on it. It's you know it's it's a mainstay in comic books, um, but they they need to be told. They told by countless people to that they need to straighten up their act. And unfortunately, they just haven't done it. So it's hello, Veronica. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Veronica. Yeah, take care. I'm glad you liked the drawing. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Veronica says that's better than what I can draw. Don't worry about it. I mean, everyone's drawing just takes time. So, um, it, you know, I, every day I see 1,000 artists who I wish I could draw like, draw as well as, and it just sort of inspires me to keep drawing. So, you know, if you like my art, please let it inspire you to just continue drawing and try to get better. And if you know, you have the rest of your life to improve. So, that's what I keep telling myself. Because there are so many great artists out there. I mean, it kind of makes me sick, but it also kind of, I think it's awesome because it's like, oh man, there's so much I can improve on, yeah, it excites me. I love seeing what's possible with art and what people can do. It's like, man, if he can do it, I can do it. So one day I'll be able to do it, hopefully. Um, yeah, Lorenzo asked, do you draw your own original characters as well? I do not. At least I haven't taken the time to create any. I like everyone else who sort of with comics. I made up characters myself when I was a kid, but they're always just sort of knockoffs of you know traditional characters like Green Lantern and Superman and stuff. So, yeah, and I realized that after, by the time I was 10, I was like, this is nothing but a copy of, Space Ghost. So I haven't really thought about creating my own characters since then. Um, I would look for comics, but I tried for several years. I did one back in the '90s, but it's just very competitive. And it's hard to get into. So yeah, I've been doing freelancing and working for various companies. Drawing comic books for advertising and stuff, advertising agencies, drawing you know drawing comic book style, but for commercial art rather than comic books per se. So. Oh, okay. Veronica, you're more than welcome to stay. Thank you. I'm gonna have to get going in a few minutes because I'm supposed to be on another live stream with I think it was Pope Fire's live stream at 11. So, but yeah, please stay until I sign off. It'll be in the next probably 10 minutes or so. So, and I'm almost done with the pencils for this. The client who asked for this just wanted a torso shot. So. Um, these are the pencils. I'm going to scan this in, email it to him, make sure it's to his liking, and then once he gives his approval, then I will ink it and then mail it off to him. So he's buying this one, and hold on. And this one that I did for Jordan Quartered a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. We were supposed to draw the Herald, a Herald from of Galactus, and I chose Terex. So this is the drawing I did. So he bought this one, and then he wanted another sort of torso shot of Hyperion. So which is very cool. I'm always get excited whenever someone wants me to draw them something. So if anyone wants a commission from me, please just ask me. You can contact me via Twitter and also via Facebook. I'll put the contact. You can find the contact info in um, most of my videos. Um, it'll be in the description. I'll put it in the description of this video as well when I'm done with it. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, ha, ha. Hey, Hyperion's atomic vision. This look okay? Hope it looks fine. Hope so. um, see, Lorenzo said that looks great. Glad you like it. And Veronica says you're so inspiring. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I find everyone I talk to inspiring in with comics and stuff. So um, I love looking at comic book art. I love drawing comic book art, and it just comic books are supposed to be inspiring. So I'm always happy when people are enjoying my work. That means I'm doing my job. Lorenzo says, I really like the drawing you did for Drawn and Quartered. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was fun. I really like Drawn and Quartered. It gives me a chance to draw, but also it also I enjoy competing against other artists because it forces you to do better or to think more or to yeah, it inspires you to, it forces you to do better than you would do on your own. I found when I was in art school it's the same thing. It's sort of friendly competition is I think is needed for to improve in whatever it is, whether it's sports or music or art. Having someone else to measure yourself against, to again to inspire you, to sort of egg you on, to urge you to push yourself is healthy. I think it's that's how people get better. My dog's head just popped up from underneath the blankets because my brother walked in the room. Veronica says, "Yeah, I love dogs. I wish I had one. One day I'll get one. But we're not allowed to have one where I live right now. So one day." Oops. Okay. Well, I better sign off for now. I will finish this off later on. I'm not sure if I'll do a live stream of me finishing it. I have to send it to the client, get their approval, and then once I do, then I'll ink it. But I have to sign off and go on another live stream. So if you know where what Fire YouTube channel is, head on over there, and myself and a bunch of other artists will be there drawing. Not sure what right now, but I'm sure they'll tell us once we get there, and we'll be, again, doing this sort of stuff, drawing live, for you guys and for ourselves, because again, we love to draw and we love sort of interacting with each other. So, but thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by, for showing up, for encouraging me with your comments, and just for keeping me company while I draw. I really appreciate it. So, and I hope you guys. Thanks, thanks, Lorenzo. I hope you guys have a great weekend, great rest of the night, and hope you just have a lot of fun. Oh, and if you haven't already, go see Battle Angel Alita. I'm gonna see it again for the second time tomorrow because it was so good. So it's definitely worth seeing once at least, and I'm gonna make sure it's twice tomorrow. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a great weekend.